There are all kinds of motorhomes out there available today. Class A, B, and C is the way most of them are known, and then there are, of course, some subclasses within there. Among those classes of coach, there is a model that'll fit just about everybody's needs and desires. Today, we're going to take a look at a Class C motorhome and see what is it that makes a Class C, and what are the features about this particular coach that makes it stand out from the others. Today's subject is a Gulfstream Conquest Class C. Now, this Gulfstream Conquest is a great example of a typical Class C motorhome. The easiest spotting feature on a Class C that lets you know that's what you're looking at is the fact that it usually has a large cab-over structure directly above the cab. And the cab looks like either a van or a pickup, usually a van. It's built on what's called a cutaway chassis because it looks like they took a van, cut it off right behind the cab. The chassis comes from the manufacturer with the cab and the dash and all that nonsense intact and ready to go, and then the coach builder, in this case Gulfstream, builds the coach body to match the cab and the chassis. And this little feature right here is what really sets these guys apart, and once we get inside, you'll be able to see why this is such a popular vehicle with families. Now, from the coach body back, the Class C is pretty much like a Class A motorhome. In this case, the Conquest has a cool outside entertainment center, which normally has a television installed here, but it's got speakers and so forth. Pretty generous storage compartments in this guy. There's these 3 lower area storage compartments. They're big enough to contain quite a bit of material. Water heater, furnace, and refrigerator access panels, outside power, all the usual features. The nice power awning, which has certainly taken a lot of the work out of campsite setup. And in this case, for this particular floor plan, there's a small slide out on this end. This contains the bed that moves out and allows you to have extra room on the foot of the bed in order to get to the cabinets on the other side. Now, around the back side of the coach, you'll see there's an empty spare tire mount. Again, this hasn't been to the dealer yet, so they haven't had a chance to install the spare tire. And there is a Class 4 receiver, plug-in for your brake control for your tow dolly or towed car, and a couple of skids. Now, the skids are really close to the ground. They're something like 12 inches off the ground. Right now, the coach is up on its automatic leveling jacks, which has raised it up a little bit, but those skids catch on everything. It wouldn't hurt to put some airbags or something in the back of this coach to boost its height a little bit so you don't scrape every time you go in and out of a driveway that has any kind of a little bit of a shape to it. Now, over here on the driver's side, or street side as we say, this is the largest or tallest storage compartment in the coach. So if you have things that are a little bit larger that you need to pack in here, you have, probably 20 inches or so of depth that's that tall. And there's also a little bit of space forward, so you can put a lot of stuff in here. Right now, it's got the spare tire and a few other odds and ends, dump hose, plumbing parts, and all that. Access hatch for the dump controls for the sewage system and so on. 30 amp power hookup, gas fill. And up here, you have the city water connection, black water flush, and cable satellite. And of course, there's a handy fitting here for a high pressure outside washer hose. Now, another one of the features that people really seem to enjoy about a Class C is that from the back of the cab forward, you're driving, for all practical purposes, a regular full-size van. And it also means that the dash, the electronics, all those parts of the systems were built by Ford and engineered so that it fits and integrates with the rest of the coach. But a lot of people prefer to buy something that's been built by a company like Ford as opposed to a Class A where the manufacturer is, rigging it all together at the factory. When it comes to maintenance, of course, your engine is out here in front. This is a lot better access than you have in a lot of Class A motorhomes, and a lot of people prefer this. When you're going to just stop and check oil or add water to the radiator or whatever you need to do, the Class C allows you to do that with relative ease. Before we head inside, let's talk about how easy and fun it is to drive a Class C like the Gulfstream. Both the driver and passenger up front enjoy wide-open scenic views from the Ford cab. The miles effortlessly melt away when behind the wheel. Familiarity with the dashboard and the driver's position is one of the things that makes a Class C comfortable to drive, even for someone who maybe hasn't driven an RV much before. You have all the familiar heating, ventilation, air conditioning controls, your large monitor here for keeping an eye on your backup camera or your radio and such. Generally speaking, it's all the controls. These haven't changed much in years and years that we've come to expect. People can get into a vehicle like this, and once you become aware of the fact that you've got this big box out behind you that's a little bit wider back of the cab, it's really comfortable to drive these guys. And the overhead, it's a kind of an advantage on a hot day because that overhang on the cab also provides shade for the cab area. So if you're driving around in the middle of the desert, you're driving in the shade in the cab, and that's kind of nice. It can help your air conditioning along.
We'll be right back with more on the Gulfstream Class C story right after these commercial messages, so stay tuned.
Aquacam toss-ins. So fast and easy to use, it could seem like a game. Someone once said, the camping doesn't really start until the RV awning comes out. Whoever said that really knew what they were talking about. Carefree of Colorado, celebrating 45 years of RV awning innovation. For more information, visit our website at carefreeofcolorado.com.
Welcome back to Rollin On TV. The Gulfstream Conquest is a classic example of a Class C motorhome. So let's continue our look at what a Class C has to offer.
It's really handy having the part of the kitchen counter right here so you can put stuff down when you come in. And one of the real pluses to a Class C motorhome is the amount of space in here. You cannot beat the wide open spaces inside of a rig like this. Now in this case, it has about a 13-foot slide-out room on the driver's side that contains the sofa, or the fold-a-bed, flip-fold actually, and the dinette. Now, it's not by mistake that a lot of Class C motorhomes are vehicles that are popular with young families that have kids to take along, because sleeping space is a real plus and a real priority in a lot of these rigs. It starts out with the cab over bunk. Most Class Cs in that cab over area you see have a huge bunk up here, and this is great for adults, especially tall people, because the bunk essentially goes wall to wall. And if it's an 8-foot wide coach, that's a 7.5-foot wide bunk approximately. Really convenient, and it's big enough to be able to contain a couple of good-sized adults. This one has the optional storage cabinets along the front, which is great for bedding and so on. And in this particular floor plan, you have, like I said, the flip-fold sofa. It's a little bit short, but you can sleep a couple of kids on there. You have the dinette, which naturally folds down to make into a bed as well. And you have the more or less RV queen bed in the slide out in the master bedroom and back. The kitchen area is fantastic in this rig. It has more counter space than a lot of much larger vehicles do. We love the countertop, and the sink is gigantic. I mean, everybody who's come in here and taken a look at this coach has commented about what a great sink this is. This is a practical sink that every RV should have, well, maybe not counting truck campers or really small ones. And the stove is a typical 3-burner, has plenty of room for our Coleman coffee maker. Don't leave the home without it. And there's a glass cover here that folds down, folds out of the way, and you have wonderful, easy spark ignition gas flames. Got a stove, and of course the large stainless steel faced refrigerator and freezer on the side here, and an overhead microwave oven. Lots of storage up above. More than enough storage down below for all your necessities. It's a very practical kitchen, and it's a great one for a family trying to keep a good food supply going for a whole bunch of kids, for example. This dinette is very nicely set up for adults. The seat cushions are nicely padded, firm, but they provide decent support, and they feel good. The table is at a decent distance away from where an average full-size American adult would fit. It's the right height. It has a great window out here so you can enjoy the view when you don't have bright sun blasting in anyway like this. All things considered, it's a great little dinette. This is the kind of place where 4 adults can comfortably sit, play cards, eat, whatever, or you can, of course, jam the kids over here on the inside so you can keep control of them while they're trying to get crazy with their Cheerios. Moving back toward the bathroom and bedroom area, there's a bit of a step up here, I think necessitated due to some of the plumbing arrangements underneath the floor. The step could catch you up in the middle of the night, but small detail, I guess. Now, one thing, another point that some people have noticed when they come to visit here is the door to the bathroom. Now, the shower is on one side, the toilet and sink are in their own enclosure on this side, but when you open the toilet enclosure door, it also comes over here to create its own little suite for the bathroom and bedroom. Makes it really nice. It provides a lot of privacy, so if you have a whole bunch of rambunctious kids or people up front, you can still be back here doing what you need to do in privacy, and that's pretty nice. And the shower has a couple of part folding shower door that kind of rotates back out of the way. Lots of space in here, a great overhead skylight for lots of room, lots of illumination. And the bathroom has a large, not ceramic, but it's a large toilet and a sink that's right handy there to be able to, for washing up and so on. It's a pretty nice arrangement, all things considered. This bedroom has a wonderful array of storage cabinets on the end here. Oops, stuff in there. Anyway, the storage cabinets all over. Large, easy glide out drawers, nicely finished. Well, a little rough. And in addition, if you're going to have someone back here changing clothes or something like that, or just taking a nap and they want privacy from what's going on up front, in addition to the bathroom door that closes to shut off this entire part of the area, you can also slide the door over here. If you can find the latch wherever it happens to be, there you go. And you can have privacy back here for whatever you need to do back in the bedroom area. It's kind of a slick arrangement. And then you open the whole thing up and it's one big party all over again.
For more information about the Gulfstream Conquest Class C motorhome, log on to our website at rollinontv.com.